MTT7 is all about tempo. Tempo is how fast or slow to play a piece of music. It says here, the tempo marking at the beginning of a piece usually tells the player whether the speed of the beat is slow or fast. A piece in 3/8, for example, can be very slow if marked adagio. Adagio means slow, while a piece in 2/2 can be very fast if marked allegro molto. Allegro is, as we know, means fast. So what's that saying? Well, it's not saying it very clearly actually, but it's trying to say that you can get different tempos dependent on the time signature. Let's have a closer look at this. So some composers use metronome markings to give the exact speed of the beat. These markings tell the player how many quaver, crotchet or minim beats there are per minute. Maybe you've heard of BPM, that acronym. That means beats per minute. So if you've got 100 beats per minute, that's a slower tempo than 200 beats per minute. Okay. Here it says MM. That stands for Melzel's metronome. Melzel was a German inventor from around the turn of the 18th to 19th century. And he invented the metronome. And the metronome is a device that uses a pendulum, looks like a ticking clock, and that's exactly what it does. It just ticks along and keeps a steady beat. And you can change the tempo to make it faster or slower. We tend to just ignore that though. We don't really write that or say it. So we just usually see a minim there equals 100. That would mean that there are 100 minim beats per minute. 100 minim beats per minute. And then we've got another tempo here, which is crotchet equals 100, which means there are 100 crotchet beats per minute. Now, if you think about it, for every minim, there are 2 crotchets. So this one here is actually a much faster tempo. It's actually twice the speed, because if you think about it, if you've got 100 minim beats in a minute, that would be the same as 200 crotchet beats per minute. So this is twice as fast as this, even though both of them say 100. 100 minims is twice as fast as 100 crotchets. So let's get on with the question, see if we can work this out. Arrange the metronome markings in order of the speed of the beat. Now this is simple because all of them are crotchet equals something. So we know that 60 crotchet beats in a minute is going to be the slow. 48 is the slowest. So you can put that down at the bottom, 48 crotchet beats, and then just put them in order of speed, going up to 112. You can do the same thing here, where you've got minim beats. There are 132 minim beats per minute. That's going to be somewhere along here, the fastest being 148. Okay, so you can put those in order. Now the tricky bit arrives on the second page, where we've got a range of different metronome markings here, and the best way to compare these is, I think, to put them all into crotchet beats. So I'll just start you off with this. So I would say if we've got 60 quaver beats per minute, how many crotchets would that make? Well, each quaver beat is half a crotchet, so that would be the same as 30 crotchet beats, because in 30 crotchet beats you would have 60 quavers, because there's 2 of these in each of these. It goes the other way for minim beats. So how many crotchets would there be in 72 of these? There'd be 144. You double it, and then that's going to be the same. So that's already 84 crotchet beats. How many crotchets in 48 quavers? There's going to be half the amount. Okay, so 24. And then how many crotchet beats in 112? That's going to be 224. Okay, so now it's easy to compare them, and you can put those in order from slowest to fastest. Okay, so you can do that, and then same thing here. I'll leave you to convert those into crotchets. Okay, now let's just bring this back into reality. Why would you have these different metronome markings? Well, if you were in a time signature of 3/4, then it would make sense to put your metronome marking in terms of how many crotchet beats per minute. But if you were working in a time signature of 3/8, for example, where you're counting in 8ths in quavers, then you would put your metronome marking in terms of quaver notes, quaver beats. Okay, so that's why you've got those different ones. Question 5 says tick the line of music with the fastest beat per minute. Okay, so we've got this line of music, and this kind of backs up what I just said, because in a time signature of 3/8, we're really looking at a tempo marking with beats per minute from quavers, and same here, minims and crotchets. So which one is the fastest? So you just need to tick the one that's fastest. So again, I'd convert these into crotchet beats per minute, and just to check once you've chosen one, I would just check, because which one of these words is fastest? Adagio, allegro, or andante? I wonder if you know what those mean. Okay, I'll leave that with you. So that is the end of MTT7.